Please save us, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, please save us from Solo Sikoa. Roman Reigns, if you can hear me, please save us from Solo Sikoa main eventing SummerSlam. Worst Money in the Bank pay-per-view ever. That's what the streets are saying. It's not me, it's the streets. The streets are saying this is one of the worst Money in the Banks, if not the worst Money in the Bank that WWE has ever made. The problem is, I kind of agree with the streets, okay? By the way, what am I doing without my anti-Canada hat on? Listen, I kind of agree with the streets. It was not a great pay-per-view. You know, and you want to boast about, oh, well, at least it's not one of those 5.5 hour AEW pay-per-views with 14 matches. Listen, those aren't great either, okay? But this had 5 matches, and it was about 3.5 hours long. No, they're too slow. Like, I understand why they're doing it, right? Like, when you have UFC, right? Like, a UFC event, it's 5 fights, and they spread it across 3.5 hours, something like that. And by the time it's the main event, it's like 1 a.m., right? Because it started at like 9:30 or 10, right? So I understand kind of why they do this pay-per-view, why WWE is doing the pay-per-views now. It's to get it to be more like UFC, where it's like, well, the match is the showcase. And that's kind of what everybody's there for, and let's take our time, let's make it a slow burn type of thing. I don't like the AEW thing either, where they do 10 matches in 5.5 hours, but it's no time to tell stories, right? That was something that happened at Forbidden Door when Britt Baker came back, and she just spent like 1 minute on the stage looking at Mercedes Moné. I'm like, they could have done something longer, they could have done something bigger with this. But because there's so many matches on the card, and they only have a certain amount of time, they need to get through everything super fast. Like, there needs to be a happy medium. You know, it's not 1 minute intervals between these matches like AEW, but it's also not 20-minute intervals between each match like WWE. It was 3.5 hours, but it felt slower because they really took their time with everything, probably more than they ought to have. But that's not the reason why people think that this is like the worst Money in the Bank ever. You know, you go into the pay-per-view and you're thinking, well, this is actually a pretty unpredictable pay-per-view. We don't really know who's going to win what match. You know, anything can really happen. Is Roman Reigns going to come back? And then nothing really of interest happened at all. I pretty much called everything. You know, for as unpredictable as it was, they took the safe route on absolutely everything here. There was no, like, shocker. There was no, like, upset. You know what I mean? Like, Sami Zayn beats Braun Breaker. I thought Braun Breaker was supposed to be the next Brock Lesnar. I thought that's what we're building towards. Why is Sami Zayn winning clean against Braun Breaker? That was one of the biggest issues I had. Because I thought, no, make this like a 5-minute squash match. We don't have a Brock Lesnar anymore. Make him the next Brock Lesnar. Let's do this. Let's go. I don't know how long it was. 12 minutes, maybe? This 12-minute match. Braun Breaker, Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn wins with like one of his kicks, and then just pins him, and that's it. He just wins clean. I didn't enjoy that at all. The men's Money in the Bank starting the show. I mean, the Money in the Bank matches themselves were very good matches, and the winners were predictable. I will say, like Stratton and McIntyre, I could tell right away, like, these are the two people that are going to win. But I did really appreciate that there were moments in the match where I second guessed myself. I was like, oh my god, like, wait a minute, there's nobody around. Jey Uso's climbing the ladder. Jey Uso might win this thing, and I didn't want Jey Uso to win. But I was just surprised that maybe I was wrong for once in my life, because I'm never wrong. But no, McIntyre wins, and then they do the worst possible thing that they could do, which is have McIntyre cash in and have CM Punk stop him and waste the entire thing. I understand the story that's happening here. CM Punk is doing everything he can to prevent Drew McIntyre from being champion, but this was just a very poor way of doing it. We could have had Drew McIntyre still have the briefcase and then try to keep cashing, and like every time he tries to cash in, CM Punk comes out and he goes, no, you are not the champion as long as I'm here, that type of thing. But instead it was a waste of a Money in the Bank. Well, really, that whole match meant nothing. Like, if you think about it, that whole Money in the Bank match meant absolutely nothing. When really what could have happened was Drew McIntyre could have come out, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to cash in, I'm just about to, and then CM Punk comes in, and Drew, you know, he doesn't get to be the champion, but he still has his Money in the Bank, so there's anything could happen later. But Damian Priest won, which is good. I wanted Damian Priest to win. I said this a while ago. Damian Priest is the next big thing, like it or not. He is the next Roman Reigns. Damian Priest, whether it's a couple years from now or whatever, you're going to see Damian Priest in the main event of a WrestleMania. He should fight Demon Finn Balor at SummerSlam for the world title and beat Demon Finn Balor. Oh yeah, the main event, right? Cody Rhodes. Okay, oh God, this was another thing. Like Cody Rhodes, right? Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline, they need a win. It's nice to win against Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, 3 established guys, right? As they should have. They should have won this match. But the fact that Cody Rhodes can kick out of 10 spears and like 5 Solo Sikoa thumb spike, I don't know, what does he call it, Samoan spike or something? Cody Rhodes can kick out of that at WrestleMania, but he can't kick out of like a Solo Sikoa spear. But like, I don't know, like it was just weird. Like Cody Rhodes, he kicked out of so much 2 months ago at WrestleMania, and he can't kick out of like a basic finisher. Who, by the way, Solo Sikoa has lost 34 matches. He 0-34 or something. I keep seeing that picture. So then John Cena comes back, and he announces that he's going to retire. And he says, his Royal Rumble 2025, that's going to be the last Royal Rumble he's ever in. It's going to be the last Elimination Chamber he's ever in. It's going to be the last WrestleMania he's ever in, at WrestleMania Las Vegas 2025. I will say it's interesting, though, that John Cena decides to announce his retirement right after I put out my video that John Cena needs to be canceled. Very interesting. It's almost like he watched the video or heard that the video was around and thought, you know what, because people are going to find out how evil I am. That's what John Cena's saying. John Cena, I canceled you, and now your career is over. And that's all I have to say about that. Anyway, that's it. Money in the Bank, kind of a stinker, but that's all I have to say about that. So let me know in the comments what you think about Money in the Bank. Do you think Braun Breaker should have won? I do. Do you think Cody Rhodes should have lost like that? I don't. I think there should have been chairs and tables and all this other stuff to make Cody Rhodes lose. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Did you like the pay-per-view? Did you not? I don't know. Good night.